In this video, we're going to learn how to make our digital binder. This is the Google Classroom for grade 9 academic math, but it'll be a similar process for all the other classrooms that we have together. So we have our stream here, we have classwork. You click on classwork, and you'll scroll through the classwork area. You'll see usually assessment tracking somewhere near the top, attendance, which we don't do, we do assessment tracking instead. You'll see some welcome, introduction, updates. You'll see the different units that we're doing as a course. You'll see assignments that are assigned, and typically under assignments, it might differ depending on the course, is where you'll find your digital binder. So you click on the digital binder for details, and then you'll click over here or on the link here to get the instructions on how to do this digital binder. And so all the instructions are there, nice and clear for you. You just have to open this up and read it. So what you'll do is you'll sign into your school Gmail. Your school Gmail is the one that ends in atloyola.hcdsb.org, and you'll access your Google Drive by clicking on the waffle icon at the top right of your screen. So if you go to your Gmail, for example, over here, you'll see this icon here, and you can access your drive there. So you access your drive like that. When you access the Google Drive, you're going to go in, and you're going to create a folder. And the way you can do that is you'll click plus new in the top left corner of the screen. And then you're told to name the folder a certain name, which is this name over here. So let me go do that. Let's go to my Google Drive here. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder. So here we're going to have my drive, and I'll create new. And then I'll say folder. And I'll give it a title. This is the title of the instructions. It's my first name and my last name. Don't keep first name and last name there. Actually put your first name and last name. Put your first name and your last name. So if your first name is John and your last name is Smith, put John Smith and then hit create. And so now what you've done is you've created your digital binder main folder. So if we go back to our instructions here, let's go here. What you want to do is you want to share this folder with your teacher. You want to do a Can Edit Share. So to do this, you're going to right click on the folder, select Share, type the name of the person you want to share with, and then click Done in the bottom left screen. So if you go back to your Google Drive over here, you'll right click, this will come up, you'll hit Share, and then you'll look for my name. So you can write I-Afraidy, and then you'll see it right there. You'll do that. Before you click Send, you're going to make sure it says Can Organize, Add, and Edit. Not Can View Only, but this here. So default right now, and then you'll hit Send. And then when you do that, I will then get an email saying that you created a digital binder. I can go in it, and I can see what's inside your digital binder, which is what I need to be able to do. It's like a binder, but it's online now instead of being in an actual binder. So let's go see what else is next. We've done that. We've shared it with the teacher. I can see it now. Within this main folder, you want to create folders for each unit that we're doing. So this will differ from course to course, but for grade 9, for example, we would do Unit 3, linear equations. For grade 10, you might write that you're doing Chapter 3 or Chapter 4 or Chapter 5. So I'm going to go create one folder to show you how to do that. It's the same process as creating the main folder we did, just inside the main folder. So we'll go back to my Google Drive here. This is the digital binder I created from John Smith. I'm going to double click it, click on it twice to go in, and then I'm going to do New, and I'm going to do Folder, and what I'll do is I'll title it Unit 3 Linear Equations. Unit 3 Linear Equations, like that. Create. So now, in my folder here, if I go back to my drive here, I have MPM1D, John Smith, digital binder. This is my main binder. I click on it. I have Unit 3 made. I can do that for another folder, for Unit 4, for Unit 5. But if I want to go inside of Unit 3, I double click, and here's my Unit 3. And so within Unit 3, you're going to create more folders. You're going to do a folder for each lesson. For example, you might do a folder for Section 4.2. So you would say New, Folder, Section 4.2, Create. Now you can click on this, and you can add pictures of the work that you've been doing. So you'll do that for each unit. I would recommend you do it after every lesson so that it doesn't build up at the end. You'll put in some lesson for 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, the review, the assessments, you put those in there, and anything else I tell you to put in there. So what I'm looking for is, again, your completed lessons. I'm looking for pictures of completed homework as well. You have to make sure everything is titled properly. So when you put a picture of a completed lesson, so let's say you put a picture for lesson over here, lesson 4.2. So let me go find a picture from my desktop here. Let's put in this one here. If it's, I can just to put the picture in. There's a few ways I can do it. You can right click, and then you can say upload file. And when you do that, you're going to go look for where you saved your file. So it could be at your desktop, for example. And then you'll just put in the picture that you have on your desktop. So, for example, for me, I might find, let's see, a picture, Capture One, like that. So that's going to upload there. And then I can go and I can label it properly. So I might rename it as Lesson 4.2. And then if you did homework for 4.2, you click OK. And if you did homework for 4.2, you're going to rename it as Homework, Page 1, 4.2. And so you're going to do that to make sure it's nice and organized. Another way you could do it is if it's saved on your desktop, where your computer is, you can just drag the file in, and then it'll upload the file for you like that. You can also access files from your Google Docs as well. You can create a Google Docs in this area. So you might want to create a blank, you might want to create a Google Docs and move it into your binder if you need to. So there's different ways where you can get your work into these areas here. I'm going to show you if you're, let's say, in your Drive somewhere. So I'm going to create a Google Docs. So Google Docs over here. Let's create it a blank document, and we'll call it digital binder testing. There it is. So test. And so I'm done testing it out. I want to save stuff. What you can do is you can decide to put this in your digital binder. So you might want to click on File, Move, and then this will come up. And you'll click on 4.2, and I believe we already created it in 4.2, but let's double check. So let's go back here. We'll move it to 4.2. It might have been lagging, so if we look here, let's just take a look. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so it was already in 4.2. I moved it out of 4.2 by accident. I created it inside of 4.2. What you can do is you can just click on this. You can say Move To, and then you can move it to section 4.2 here. Or you could also click on it. So you can left click on it and drag it into 4.2, and now it'll be in that 4.2 section. So it's up to you to play around with how you want to bring these files in there. But the main idea is that you've done a lesson for Unit 3 Linear Equations 4.2, and then you could also create a new folder. You can right-click on the page, New Folder, or you can click on New over here, and then do Lesson 4.3, Section 4.3, for example. And you'll do the same thing there. And so you just follow the instructions for what I expect you to create. You'll also see that I wanted you to copy and paste this into a Google Docs, where you keep track of your assessments. So when we do tests and quizzes and practice assignments, you would create a document where you can keep track of it. So for example, if I go back to my binder here, I would create a new folder. I would call it Assessment, Create. I click there, double click, and then what I would do is I would create a docs, a blank document. I copied it. So all I did is I went here, I highlighted it, and then I clicked copy. And then I just did right click, paste. And now I have the table here, and I can go in and add columns if I need to, and you can play around with those features to do that. and you can type in what assessment you did. So you might have done a quiz. You can say when you did it, feedback that you got from it about your strengths and weaknesses, how you want to improve from there, and the score if there was a score for it or not. And so now that should be found in your digital binder under assessment. Let's give it a title. Let's call this one Assessment Tracking Table. Perfect. So again, you can make a copy. If you want, you can download this as a Word version or a PDF. You can do different things there, so you want to try that out. You can move this to different areas if you want to. So let's say you wanted it more accessible and you didn't want to have to click as many times. You can maybe click to move here. So where do we move it? We moved it to the digital binder main page. So if we go back to our digital binder over here, it should show up soon. There it is. Sometimes it lags a bit, but it's our main page for digital binder. And what we can do is we can just drag it into the assessment area over here if you want to. What I usually do is I leave it out in the main digital binder page so I can fill it out as we go. And then when I'm done with it, I just drag it into the assessment section there, and then double click there, and there it is, ready to go. So that's just one of the features that you should be able to do, and you should practice doing it. You need to practice it, otherwise you will not get it. It's something that you have to build a habit doing, and that's all there is to it. I was new to Google Classroom when I first started here. I used to use another platform called D2L, which is very different, and I just got the hang of using Google Classroom. I'm still learning to this day. What's different between you and me, if you didn't learn this yet, is that I just had more practice with it and you didn't. So get that practice started so that way you can get much better with it. This is how I'll be assessing your digital binder. I usually check it partway through the unit and also at the end of the unit, just to kind of say, hey, I don't see you doing a lot of work, start posting the work, or you're doing a great job. And so please make sure that you're doing this as you go. If you have any questions, please email me. You do have this video to assist you now. This is a similar process for all the courses I teach, so the video will be applicable whether you're grade 9, 10, grade 9 math, 10 math, or 10 science.